Have you ever been to the snow and you've grabbed the snow in your hands and you're kind of packing it in, and then you put it on the ground and you give it a bit of a push, and it gets bigger and it gets bigger and it gets bigger, and then all of a sudden this tiny little ball that you started off with is like the base of a really kick-ass awesome snowman. You've got the scarves, you've got the carrot, you've got the hat ready, you've got everything sitting there ready to go. It's fun, right? That is something, it's a concept that I would love to share with you today about how we can create an income snowball that helps you to build that income, build that income, build that income, and finally have you hitting your income goals sooner rather than later in one of the most achievable ways that I think is humanly possible. Are you ready? Let's go. And one of my most favorite things to talk about is how you can make more money, how you can keep more money in your pocket, how you can help more people and stuff like that. Now, in my mind, the more money you make, the more impact you're having on the world. The more money you make, the more people you're helping. The more money you make, the more good you can do in your world and in the world in general. So, number one, let's just get that out of the way. Money is good. It's able to be used as an awesome tool for providing contribution and giving back and, you know, getting you more of what it is that you want. I love money. I think it's fucking amazing. I hope you do too. So how does this apply to the income snowball? So many people, if I was to say, right, you know, we're going to make $100,000 this year, you know, let's go. They'd be like, if you're making nothing right now, or maybe you're making 20 grand a year, that 100,000 can feel like it's miles away. If I was to say we're going to make 100 grand a month and you're at 20 grand, that 100 grand can feel like it's miles away. So the way that I like to think about your income snowball is this. If you imagine that you have been able to package up all of your knowledge into either an online course or a retreat or something that's really highly valuable. Let's say you price that at $4,000. Now, if you're talking to people and let's say that your income goal is 10 grand, right? Let's make it really super simple because I haven't got notes on this, so I've got to do this in my head. So let's say that your income goal is $10,000 a month and your average sale is 4 grand. But let's say that people pay you $1,000 deposit and then they pay that $1,000 off either each week in installments. Let's based on weekly installments. I think that would make life so much easier. So they pay $1 grand down. And then let's say it's $250 a week. It would take them 3 months to have that fully paid off without there being any lag, okay? So you've got that first week, let's say you've got one person buying that's $1,000 in your account. Week number 2, you make another sale. You've got $1,000 in your account, and that person from week 1 is adding in another $250 because it would be $250 a week as a payment plan. So all of a sudden in week 2, you've banked $1,250. The next week, we've got a new person, $1,000 down, and then we've got the $250 from person in week 1 plus the $250 from person in week 2. So in week 3, you'll bank $1,500. Then you see how this is rolling up, right? So then the next week, like week 4, we'd get another new client, it's $1,000. You've got 3 people on payment plans, you bank $1,750. Now, if that keeps rolling up and rolling up and rolling up, what you'll find is that your income snowball, even though the installments can be a lot lower, it gives you the ability to grow that income on a monthly basis. So that's, I think, the easiest way for you to be able to do this. Now, I've included a spreadsheet, a downloadable spreadsheet below so that you can jump in there and you can plug use your fingers to plug your figures in there. Now, it's a bit rough and ready. It's just what I use a bit on the fly. So, just bear that in mind. So the reason that this is important is that there are so many people that will tell you that you can only charge up front, that you can do 2 payment options. And yes, you can, and that works really freaking well. Some people need an extended payment plan. All right. Now, you can make the choice whether you want to facilitate that or not. There are pros and cons to this. The downside to having more people on payment plans is that you've got a heavier duty accounting that needs to be done. So your bookkeeper or your accountant will need to do more work. It also usually means that there is more debt collection that needs to happen because people, they might not pay, or their payment declines, or they're late, or they ask for an overdue, like whatever. It can be a lot more hard work. Whereas if you've got a $4,000 program and you say, well, hey, you know what, we can pay it off up front. It'll cost you $3,500, or you can do 2 payments of $2,000. That kind of is going to, you collect the money much faster. You've got less moving parts. It does, however, make it harder for you to grow your income snowball in that really nice kind of like super, super steady fashion that can happen. So think about those 2 things. Here's the other thing though about commanding the kinds of money that we're talking about today. If you don't wholeheartedly believe that your product, your program, your offer, whatever, is worth that dollar figure, please, for the love of God, don't say it. You've got to be like really so certain, like standing there super grounded, like the investment for this program is $4,000. It's a $1,000 deposit and then weekly payments of $250. How would you like to take care of that? Like if you can't be that certain in what it is that you do, then nobody's going to buy. Okay, not one person will buy because they can kind of feel it. Like if you're like, oh yeah, the investment's $4,000, you can pay a $1,000 deposit, and then we just kind of payment plan the rest out over the next few months. They'll just be like, the heck is going on here? Right? They can kind of smell that uncertainty and that doubt a mile away. So you've got to be rock solid certain. If you're not able to say that $4,000 price point, then bring it down a bit. Maybe it's $3,500 to start with, or maybe it's $3,000. The point here is that you've got to get started. You've got to get some confidence going. You've got to get really used to saying it out loud with certainty and with volition, and knowing that it's absolutely worth a heck of a lot more than what anybody could ever pay you with what it is that you're asking for. All right. So that's the income snowball. If you want to have a play with it, download the spreadsheet below. As I said, just double check that the cells are all working and stuff like that. Can't wait to hear how you've gone with this. Now, if you need help pricing your stuff, packaging your stuff, selling your stuff, marketing it, building that brand around you so that you can do all of this, please feel free to reach out, let me know, and we can chat about how you can become a client of mine. My name is Nicola. Have a kick-ass, freaking amazing day. Remember to embrace this inner rock star, authority, expert that you are, and get out there and go change some people's lives. See you later. Bye.